I was just gonna stay with her for a few months. I would live with her, but I really doubt I'll be able to handle the smell of the house because I do have a blanket. And that box smelled up the entire office that my manager had. And I opened up in my room, let the thing air out. It was like, clothes smell of diabetes. Somebody there has got severe diabetes. And I'm pretty sure it's Chris if she's drinking that many Fantas.
To everyone, good morning. I've just read Jacob's most recent tweets, and he texted me earlier. I have a few things to say and tell y'all in response. Mainly, I do love and care for Jacob, but I am unable to be close to him because of the likely reckoning that would happen upon these dimensions, 1218, C197, and all local in this timeline, should he and I get too close in our relationship. It does sadden me to realize all of this, but I must be strong. And Jacob is a very fragile individual, regardless, and despite his past actions and many conflicting statements when he was and when he was not possessed by anyone, especially by Jacoba. I wish for everyone in this earth to stop being mean to Jacob, period, please, and this, of course, means no more hatred upon him. I put my foot down. Jacob, I am your future vessel to Kitasuna, not Jacoba, even though you and I cannot ultimately be sweethearts in the end. If only I could tell you what I have foreseen of you. I still have the soul portion watching over you and being your guardian angel. Believe in me. The merge details fall mainly upon me and the magic wielders of this dimension on this earth. We cannot allow Jacoba or the Rokat Empire to ever take over this planet Earth. And with us OCs and our OCs of C197, together we will keep this planet safe and defended when the big battle is upon us. Aqua Diamond and Val Valentino know what I am talking about, along with the other select others, including the local CPUs here. But, in reiteration, I am not and cannot be Jacob's sweetheart. I still care about him very much, and I put my foot down on any future instances of hatred and bullying upon him. Stop bullying Jacob, please. That is all. In reiteration, I am not and cannot be Jacob's sweetheart. You destroyed my life. I'm out for blood this time. You can trick my Twitter friends into thinking you aren't evil, but I know you are evil beyond measure. I know at least what state you live in. It's only a matter of time till I find you and dox you. You should tell them the truth that you seek the ruin of Noose Holy Souls. You live in New Jersey. How far are you willing to go with someone who has nothing to lose? I'll never work. I'm retarded and have nothing to lose. But you do. I can easily ruin you for life. Delete me from your consciousnesses, and better yet, praise me for loving Christine through it all. Or else, I release what I know about you, and that is quite a bit. Address, family, brothers, your job, and much more. I am a great and holy. Now, praise it. I'm not playing round anymore. I have data on you for a change. I'll release it like a straight man release on his victim. So, yeah, Jacob is still kind of in the picture, but Chris has stated explicitly that he will never date Jacob, and this sent Jacob on a huge tantrum. Welcome to the weekly update. I missed a couple weeks in there, mostly due to Thanksgiving, but this whole Jacob thing happened real quick. It was the day that I uploaded my video. So what basically happened is the day before I had sent some excerpts of it to like MKV and some of those other people who are around Chris, and they showed him the audio of Jacob saying all this terrible stuff. And so that morning, Chris basically said, "Hey, Jacob, I am never going to be with you." He obviously still thinks that Jacob has like psychic powers and stuff. But yeah, he explicitly said that he will never be with Jacob, and that is all that Jacob wants. So now Jacob is throwing a tantrum, and obviously he blames me for the whole thing. And I could not be happier at that situation. I don't believe in interfering with Chris. I have never contacted Chris. I've never talked to Chris. I have no problem with interfering with Jacob. and I am very happy that this is the outcome that has happened, and that he is upset, because he is a terrible person. Like, we talk, I've said before that Chris is a terrible person, and when I say that, I'm usually talking about him, being racist. I'm talking about him making, the mentally ill community look bad. But when I'm talking about Jacob being a bad person, I'm talking about actual violence toward people. And yeah, I'm very much not sorry that bad things are happening to him. We'll look more at that later, but for now, we're going to look at what Chris has been up to. So this message is actually a little bit before the last one that I just read through, and it's a wonderful it's a wonderful picture. Just look at this. Just wow! Like, Chris thought that this was a good thing to post online. Why? And so this is about Chris not having any money. It's another time once again. Gah, we need some more money, please. Help. And I do not want to hear get a job or some bleep like that. Keep in mind that Chris just spent a bunch of money printing his little My Little Pony cards. And look at my mother. She is once again giving me grief. That doesn't look like the expression of someone giving you grief. Like, I don't even know what this look is. And she's, for anyone out there who's like, oh, she did. No, she is very much still alive. We heard her in the background of Chris's live stream where he was talking about his playing card game. She told him to take out the garbage. So she's still alive. She can still walk. She can still talk. But man, Barb does not look good. And before anyone asks again, I will start pre-sales of the Sonichu teaser card game cards very soon. I'd like to complete both the Sonichu and Nightstar expansion packs before I do. That will be a few days from now. And that was November 19th. So let's see if he's actually done that since then. Do you realize that these photos of your mom when you beg come off as elder abuse? That's interesting. Did he respond? No, of course he didn't. Okay, so Chris said, pay me. I need money. Aren't you a goddess? Just finished the merge already, geez. Your riches in Quickbill should be able to cover all these expenses. One quickie is equivalent to, that many US dollars. And here, I talked about this last time. No, it is 1-to-1 because Quickbill uses regular US money. Do not be without common sense. Of course, that's common sense. But in the last video, Chris mentioned that the exchange between different kinds of currency in Quickbill was not the same, which contradicted something he said months ago where they were the same, so he cannot make up his mind on this topic. What happened to the C coins, W coins, and C coins? Two kinds of C coins, of course. That's definitely what Chris would do. Those were limited edition coins for the nation of Quickbill. They are meant to be a substitution for rings in Sonichu's video games, but he actually does collect rings. The C and W quarters, are literally 25 cents a piece, like the golden dollar coins. These were minted like normal. You can blame Christine Chan for that idea. I only saw those quarters were in circulation, and I chronicled a mention of them. Christine Chan is like his OC in the other dimension, which is sometimes him and sometimes not him. It's like it's confusing. And now he's lamplighting, and now he's lampshading the fact that he can't do the merge. He says, it is not that easy to just complete the dimensional merge with the restrictions and limitations that are in 1218. I am not fond of those restrictions, but we are getting increasing magics here, with more and more opening portals and growing tears and cracks in the Iron Curtain. God. I really don't like reading this. One day in the future, hopefully, y'all will see why this message in particular is something that I do not like reading. Can't tell you why now, but you'll see. That'll be a little cliffhanger for you. If it were that instantly easy, I would have fully entered C197 and completed the merge over a year ago. Stop the hating and bad trolling. Oh my god, I just love that anyone who says that he's not making sense is a hater and a bad troll. So then this person, they posted a literal picture from Sonichu. I want a soda, but it takes only C quarters, and I only have W quarters. Do you have change? And then, he shows them. You're in luck. I have 12 C quarters. I'll give you 10 for a W quarter. That exchange rate is terrible. And Chris says, again, blame Christine Chan for this collective interest in this particular coinage. The machines were long reverted and upgraded to accept the 2 coins as quarters. She had a bunch of crazy ideas. But she still worked very hard with everyone to defend Quickville and all. Was it perfect? No. But Christine Chan did what she did, and I'm in the greater driver's seat as the OC of OCs. What does that mean? Oh, and I mean that between the terms original creation and original creator, interpretable well in any of the 4 ways. That's so maybe I've been misinterpreting Chris saying OC, because I always interpret it as original character or original creator. But sometimes he means it as original creator, as in the person who makes the OC. So whenever he says something like, we are all OCs, that might mean that he means that we are all creators and not creations. And that actually makes more sense than I was giving him credit for. Okay, so this is the day after he said that it would take him a couple days to finish this expansion. I've completed the Nightstar and Friends expansion pack. The Sonichu and Rosechu expansion pack is a third to half finished, and I'm trying to set up a pre-sale page. Stay tuned. Meanwhile, dollar donations are appreciated. Please, and enjoy my rainbow aura. There's a picture of Chris. This is something else. I'm barely fazed by this weird stuff anymore after all the Jacob things and the dimensional merge. Oh, while we're here, Chris's biggest fans this week. Okay, so this is Alan Christopher. This was Alan Christopher's Twitter account. Alan Christopher no longer uses this Twitter account. There's another Twitter account that begins with Hulkarine. It's a mixture of like the Hulk and Wolverine, and it has other numbers after it. That is not Alan Christopher. Please stop sending him hate messages because he's been DMing me. Also, don't send hate messages to like anyone, but especially not the wrong people. I got 14 more cards completed today for a card Sonichu Rosechu expansion. I'm proud to break out the Halloween ensembles for this expansion, as well as Lego Sonichu and Rosechu. DJ Pawn Sonichu, Octavia Rosie, Roberta Dash. Oh, that's scary. Lego Sonichu. I don't care. Oh, I didn't want to see that. So, this is going back to the message where Chris said that he can't just do the merge and tells people to stop the hating and bad trolling. This guy says, wow, you're showing a really ugly side of your personality with these tweets. I'm overworked. I'm overworked and really tired. I do my best to keep as calm a mind as possible. But it is not easy with the increasing magics and events. I'm sorry for showing an ugly side. I do not mean to. At least we got some help that will keep us stable again for the while. Thank you all. So that means that someone actually donated to him. But yeah, he always does the, oh, I'm in a bad mood because I'm tired and overworked thing. And then he always apologizes for it, but he never changes his actions because this is Chris we're talking about. Okay, so here is Chris. Also, for your information, regardless of which variant, dimension, or timeline of origin, special, regular, or mega evolved, the Pokedex number for Sonichu and Rosechu will always be 982 and 979, respectively. Why? Wait, that doesn't make any sense. Unless are Sonichu's 3-stage evolutions? I thought they was Sonnies and Sonichus and Rosies and Rosechus, which is a 2-stage evolution. So that means that, like, Rosie would be 978, Rosechu would be 979. Then what's 80? Because 81 would be a Sonny. So I don't understand. I don't get it. But in the next generation of Pokemon, we're definitely going to pass those numbers, so I wonder how Chris is going to respond to that, because Gen 8 did not reach those numbers, unfortunately. Hey everyone, let's give this a go. Pre-sales of the Twilight Sparkle Secret Fic folder, whatever, Sonichu deck and packs are up on the store I've set up. I'll take orders and have them shipped to y'all direct from the printer. The last 3 expansion packs will be added after completion, and shipping is included in the price of each item. Here's a rundown on why they are priced heavily. These are prices, as directly cited from the printing site. I am going with, they each come with a box. Shipping is included in the price. Seriously, at this pre-sale time, this is the way it is. Magichan and I have worked super hard on this. Thank you for supporting us. Let's see, is there a link? Yes. Let's see how expensive one deck of his cards are. Wait, I thought Chris drew this for a second. Hanging with Magi-Chan expansion pack, $30. The Sonichu box bundle, $330. That is 3 Magic the Gathering booster boxes. Oh my god. Promo cards, $15. Rigid box. What is all this? Sonichu and Rose Juice, $41. There's no way that the site set these amounts. That would be silly. Idea Guy Corruptions expansion pack. What? 15 cards? $26 for 15 cards? Rose Juice Super Mega Forms. What is this? Oh, okay, here's the original. $67 for the original card game. And then anywhere from like 25 to 40 for the expansion packs. Oh my god. I wonder how much profit Chris is actually making. I have no idea. This is something else. So this is some actress that I've never heard of, and she says, "The toys my kid likes to fall asleep with. Not sure if I should be proud or concerned. Globe and sand timers." I'm not going to click on her Instagram thing because I don't want her kids to be in this terrible video about Chris. But he responds, "If I may, you should be proud and encouraging, as your child is one that is very likely to want to explore the far reaches of the world, time, space, and even dimensions. You have a genuine thinker on your hands. It is very good." Man, if I was her, that would terrify me. Because look, she obviously doesn't have that many followers if this only got 3 retweets and 3 comments. If Chris was saying that kind of stuff about my kids, I would not like that. Especially if I didn't know who Chris was. Today is my birthday. 23 years old. Wow. Happy birthday, much. I don't know if that's accurate. Let me Google this. Yeah, happy birthday, much. Chris... I'm sorry, Roberto. I thought you were good at Spanish. Thanksgiving grocery shopping. Only retweet if you get the reference. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Haha, Chris retweeted it. I don't know if he actually understands what the reference is. Yeah, like, I have no idea if Chris listens to Simon and Garfunkel or not. So, like, other things. Total tangent. The guns in Bayonetta are named Parsley, Sage, Rosemary, and Thyme as a reference to that. So, like, Chris could very much think that this is a Bayonetta reference and not a Simon and Garfunkel reference. Then again, for all I know, that could be a reference to something else, and I don't know about it, so I can't judge him too hard. Valerie Voltra Rosechew. Very cool and angelic, huh? I sense if I call her cute, she would be really riled up like lightning bliss, so I refrain from directly using the adjective. That's weird. So I wonder if someone drew, like, what Sonichus does he consider canon? Right? Like, if Spurret drew a Spurret Sonichu, would Chris make that canon? I don't understand. More Sonichu OCs. This time we're going to take a look at Vulture's siblings. I don't care less. What matters is that Chris says, that's right, 1 in 13 Sonichus are female, and 1 in 13 Rosechus are male. Which is a new retcon to the series. Okay, so around this time, this was one day after, I believe. No, this is the same day that Chris said that he was never going to date Jacob. Jacob started deleting all of his tweets on Twitter. He was, like, erasing everything. He erased his entire Reddit account, which I'm going to look at later. But Chris said, do not delete your tweets, because he's just upset at Jacob. So, like, let's look over here. When I'm editing, you have to go over here. So, this is the Too Sexy for Quick account. This is his new bio, right? I'm back on the meat market. I'm single, on sale on Bootylicious 2. Sexy cowboy needs a sweet and loving sweetheart for life. Contact, the White Knight Blue Heart for chasing. The one that's currently shut down because it was reported when he started threatening people's lives. So yeah, Jacob is overtly no longer chasing Chris. I also have it from several sources. I can't name names, but Jacob has been DMing people, and he is hitting on them. He is hitting on their relatives. And he actually started doing this before Chris said that they were not going to be together. So, yeah, Jacob's just a terrible person. Obviously, we can't see this because the account no longer exists. So Chris says, it is not over. The past is what starts us on our respective individual paths. Do not discard the past, as you should learn and relearn from it. That's a good quote, Chris. I approve of that. You're like Yoda. That's what Yoda said in The Last Jedi. MKR says, "Unfortunately, Jacob is still bullying me in DMs. Apparently, I am blamed for this, yet I tried telling him this was and is your decision. However, on that subject, I think you did the right thing. I am very proud of you." Chris says, "That is correct. It was ultimately my decision and choice to tone things down with Jacob. No one else is to blame for pushing him away other than I. My heart remains in the right place throughout all of this, and the Dimension Merge events continue on towards its completion." He can't just have one great message, like, yes, I am smart enough that I said no to Jacob. The Dimensional Merge! And I am more motivated and determined to continue onward towards our destiny with all of our OCs of both C-197 and C-12, 12 whatever. There's no stopping it. Yeah, so Jacob started doing a bunch of things. I'm gonna get into this more later. Jacob faked a DM from me to Null of Kiwi Farms. It was so bad. The fake was so bad. And in this DM, apparently I'm trying to stop the merge. And so Chris is reiterating here, saying there is no stopping the merge. So thankfully he's not falling for that. Also, I have personally witnessed the slavery problem on Kitasuna. That will be absolved. As well as the other problems on there. Before returning to Earth, I shall remedy the situation as I'm able to, personally, when the time comes. Since then, also, since the quote-unquote breakup, Jacob has been saying things like, "Oh, I am God, and Chris is not as powerful as me. That's why he can't actually defeat Jacoba." So, it's amazing. So this person, in response to MKR saying that Jacob's been bullying her, says, "That's terrible. Why is he bullying you? Why is he bothering you all the time? Sorry you have to deal with such a toxic person, Maker. Might be best to block him if you think he might try to dox you or anything." And Chris says, "Quite. He mainly does that only when he feels bullied or threatened. He does tend to get really emotional, which is something he still has time to improve upon within himself. I know this to be a consistent fact outside of conflicting things he has stated in the past." So, Jacob believes that there's a version of himself. He doesn't think he has multiple personalities. He just thinks that there's multiple, like, souls in him or something like that. And one of them is Baby Jake. And Baby Jake has no emotional maturity and sees Chris as his mommy. And Chris keeps saying, "Hey, Jacob, if you've been Baby Jake for a couple years, shouldn't you be like adult Jake or teenage Jake by now?" And Jacob faked a conversation with Magic-chan where he says that it's impossible for him to ever grow up from Baby Jacob. But Chris disagrees. So they're basically just two idiots arguing over this fictional thing that isn't real. But Chris is very steadfast in the belief that Jacob can grow up and change, and Jacob is refusing to do that. So, like, we literally have a situation right here where Chris is being the more logical and mature person. And if that's not, like, the best character development in this, like, 60-episode long series that I've done, I don't know what is. Here, so, Aqua links to my video, the On Aliens and Demons. This is the first interview portion with Jacob where he says all the terrible things on audio recording. And MKR quote tweets it and says, "Jacob says in his own words he has never been possessed by Jacoba. Apparently Jacoba only possesses various dictators, Trump and George W. Bush. Take this information as you will." And Chris says, "Regardless, I know we will all have to fight Jacoba and his forces. Otherwise, I would not have had all the visions, actual experiences on Kitasuna, and so forth. Also, I'm coming up with more expansion pack ideas. One of Kitasuna, definitely. Yeah." Regardless of the fact that Jacob has been lying this entire time about being possessed by Jacoba, we still have to fight him. Also, I'm making a card game. I would also like to do one of some memes that I ended up inspiring over the years. Yes, Jule will be one of them. Perfect. That's awesome. But that one is not my favorite. Quick meme. Can I get a top 25 to 40 list of quick memes, please? Thank you. He and Brendan Anderson. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, so, like, as long as... I don't care if Chris does mental gymnastics to pretend that none of the stuff with Jacob ever happened, as long as he's over him. As long as he now accepts that Jacob was bad. Okay, so this person's suggestion for a quick meme is no rape, just hamsters. And I'm working on it, our personal favorites of mine. When did I ever say no rape, just hamsters? And then he links to a video, and Chris says, "Oh, I had forgotten about that, thank you." That's amazing. Oh, here's one about me. Oh, here we go. Okay. Jacob faked this DM. Now, how do we know it's fake? Well, number one, if you look over here, you can see that there's a box around my circular avatar. Twitter does not do that. This means that he has quite obviously downloaded this picture from somewhere. You can also tell by the green dot that this is not my Twitter avatar. This is my Discord avatar. This is also not how a Twitter DM is formatted. Like, these are not the colors that are used for the background, the text box, or the text itself. And let's get into the content of the message that I supposedly said. Don't worry, Noel. So Noel is the owner of the Kiwi Farms, and Chris and Jacob hate him. Problem right off the bat. If I'm in a DM with Noel, there's no reason for me to address him by name. That's something that bad fanfiction writers do, right? If they'll be like, oh, why, yes, of course, Steve, I do think we should do that. It's a way of introducing a character's name to the audience, even though nobody in real life, when they're talking to someone one-on-one, will use their name like that. It's only used in bad exposition. So the reason this is here is to tell Chris that I'm talking to Noel. It's not something anyone would ever say, and that's point number 1 that is fake. Actually, it's point number 2 after the fact that all of this is clearly a mock-up. Don't worry, Noel. I won't let the merge proceed. So, evidence number 2 that this is fake is I don't believe in the merge. And Chris should know that I don't believe in the merge. I have Chris believing everything I say in videos. Actually, Chris has never watched my videos, except for maybe the newest one that Aqua Diamond just sent out. He is too dumb to realize that I was involved with the Idea Guys. So whenever Jacob tweets about the Idea Guys, he always puts them in quotes, and whenever I have referenced them, I have never put them in quotes. So, gee, I wonder who wrote this. I was involved with the Idea Guys, and he can't see that I'm working to stop the merge. That's obviously just not how I write, things like that. Like, it's too formal to be the way that I would write a DM. So yeah, anyone with a brain could see that this is fake, but the Goddess Emmanuel account is trying to pass this off as real. Goddess Emmanuel is Jacob. It's one of his new sock accounts. Right after Chris broke up with him, quote-unquote broke up with him, he created this account. He's pretending not to be himself, and he's using this account to try to convince Chris to, get back with him. So he says, at Magichan, at Chris, it's true. GiBi was the real evil force behind the Idea Guy. See, he's putting in quotes. This is him talking. And was working with Noel and the farms to protect his identity. Jacob is very insistent that I'm working with the farms and I go on the farms all the time, which I have never done. He's working hard to prevent the merge and destroy Quickville. He lies about Jacob. Don't let him win. Again, I definitely lie about Jacob by playing Jacob's unedited audio. And Chris says, I am very well aware of GiBi's vicious intentions and his manipulative abilities. My decision was not affected by any of his recent videos concerning Jacob, and I had not heard the interview at all before and when I made my decision, and I'm very well aware of, and then he trails off, and this doesn't go anywhere. He continues down there. But, even if this is true, even if he never watched the interview, he was definitely told about it and shown quotes from it. Chris, that's a fake screenshot. Yeah, I'm very aware of battles and Jacob's fate in working with us. For the time being, his usefulness was temporarily expended, considering these present circumstances. Magichan and the others have verified this. We have our plans, and we continue to work hard to see them through. My emotions remain true, and I am grateful, and I am with grateful mental fortitude and rainbow aura. The merge is not delayed and shall not fail, even with Devin's BS. We are immune to his influences. His fate is to be determined. Well, Chris, if anyone does show you this, I'm not trying to stop the merge because it's not real. And I'm glad that my fate is to be determined as opposed to other people who are just going to, die. At least I'm not going to die in the merge. My fate's still to be determined. That's nice. Aw, here's a nice wishful Thanksgiving post. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm very thankful to be in better communication with others, including my loves, here, and a new bunch of peoples I've met over the past year. And I'm very grateful for the greater developments between my powers and abilities, and the dimension merge coming to better fruition. I am also thankful for my immunity to the hateful commentaries, and better ability to discern the legit from the BS, he says after falling immediately for Jacob's fake message. This has been another prolific year, and I look forward to an even more prolific and awesome year coming up. Okay, so talk about quick means. I am a woodpecker. And Chris is holding a PS3 remote. I am a woodpecker. Okay. I did not see that yet, and I missed 10 seconds ago. Ditto. Then why did you record it, Chris? Oh my god, it's terrible. I'm sorry, guys. Hey everyone, here's a snippet of a preview for one of the cards from the Samurai Pizza Bots expansion pack. Old Buckethead gets shot in the shoulder. Oh, and then he managed to edit it out, so he's not terrible in Photoshop. Okay, so, This tweet is from an account that no longer exists because, unfortunately, the White Knight Blue Heart account has been deleted after Jacob, attacked several people. So this tweet originally said, it was something to the effect of, Chris cannot make the Twilight Sparkle cards about his characters on Kitasuna, about the Rokat Empire, about anything like that, because Jacob has them copyrighted. And therefore, unless him and Chris are married, he can't use them in his card game. This is obviously BS, because Jacob does not have any of that copyrighted. And Chris says, fine, but I have personal experiences on Kitasuna, and I've witnessed the slavery personally. My experiences cannot be copyrighted by anyone else, even you. Boom. I'm so glad that Chris won that. 2,000-year-old green serpentine mask was unearthed at the base of Mexico's Pyramid of the Sun. It's effing happening. You know the drill. And Chris says, yep, this is another sign of the merge's progression. The appearance of the mask. Like, why? Why does this mask signify that the merge is happening? I'd love to know. Please tell me more, Chris. So CPU Goddess Aqua whatever says Christine has nothing but respectful towards me. And whoever this guy is, never heard of him, says, I heard from GiBi that you tried to convince Chris that Jacob was dangerous. And what does Chris do? He ignores your warnings. You call that respect. That is not respect. Chris says, I was following the request of Magi-chan to keep on with Jacob. And the reason Magi-chan wanted Chris to keep on with Jacob is because Jacob was the one writing Magi-chan's dialogue. I really wish Chris could see that. And he says, yet my feelings for him have developed during the months. As for the present, I had to cool the romance, because even I knew the whole time it was not meant to be, and Jacob's usefulness had become compromised. So Chris knew the whole time that they could never actually be together, and he was only with Jacob, or using Jacob, because of the dimensional merge, but now that he's been compromised, he dumped him. And that's so good. I love that. Therefore, while I still have feelings for Jacob, I am free of having to put up with his bad habits as much. I had already come to senses long ago. I was being patient and going with the events. And you can shut the H up, Rosa. The merge is happening. Christine, please ignore this woman. She's only doing it to annoy you. Just block her because she's purposefully trying to upset you. I hear you, but I've got the energy and wit to spare. The wit. So I did this time. She needed to be told off by me after all that. And it, meaning the merge, is not apocalyptic. It is a very good thing and benefit for everyone on both Earths. The only thing considerably apocalyptic is Jacoba, and we're taking him down soon enough. Cacao. I don't know what cacao means. So this is Jacob. The haters and the negative trolls have deceived themselves into thinking they can stop the merge. They can't. The goddess Chris and Magi-chan will complete the merge. It has been foreseen. The goddess becomes more powerful with each passing day. Jacob said he could stop the merge, and we all know that was a lie. He's got nothing. The merge cannot be stopped. Boom. So stop listening to Jacob. Easy boy. Okay, so I guess this tweet is about listing what you wanted to be when you grew up. So, child, he was unsure. Preteen, unsure. Teen, artist, exploring other skill sets. Young adult, artist, writer, and with a side of computer graphics and tech. Right now, chronicler and CPU of Commodore consoles and leader of a species of Pokemon. It's like one tweet is Chris's entire life. It's like utter failure, artist, which is another way of saying utter failure, and now just totally insane. That was a joke. Okay, so Chris was talking about this picture. He says, this is an Ultimate version of Magi-chan. It still counts. So this is Magi-chan. That's totally irrelevant. This, what I want to talk about right now, this is a recolor, redraw fan version of a character from the video game Skullgirls. I have been told by people that the creator of Skullgirls is very serious about copyright infringement. So Chris is physically selling this card. You can buy this from Chris. Chris is making money from this. That is illegal, and the person who holds the copyright claim actually does go after people who try to do that. I can see this becoming a problem for Chris. As of right now, I don't believe anything has happened. But if that gets to Skullgirls creator guy, then that could become a thing. And I don't know how to feel about that. So December 7th at noon, Chris just tweeted out ... pain. No explanation. It means nothing. He did not elaborate at all. Are you okay? Did something happen? Feel well I not. Rest need I. Hurts head. UTI up acting. He's a urinary tract infection? I didn't know that. P waiting to. No feeling not. I well am. Yes, recover I be will. Super stressed ears. Pachirisu round face to got me. Email received Project S&T vent with. Expected Courtney did then better that I napkin. Okay. So he's talking like Yoda. He's a urinary tract infection. Something about Pachirisu, which is a Pokemon. I don't know what Project S&T is. Let's look at that. This person says, take a relaxing sit in your favorite spot, drink some tea, listen to your favorite song, video, etc. And then Chris says, thank you in reverse, which sounds harder than writing thank you normally, which just means that he's actually giving more energy into coming off as not having energy. Whatever. Chris, now you're typing in perfect backwards, which tells me you're acting like this on perfect. There we go. I'm not laughing. Yet you've cried wolf too often that you've made it hard for folks to take you seriously by now. My brain was literally out of order earlier. I was unable to make coherent sentences through my hands. It was not on purpose. I'm recovering, but I'm feeling ill. It was totally on purpose. It takes skill. No, not skill, but, intention. Yeah, I don't know what Project S&T is. I can't tell. This person says, why am I mentioned? Tag undid forget he to you. So again, he's just talking, he's babbling nonsense. So, Aqua Diamond asked Chris if he was okay. Chris said, night last troubling is still me. Up shook I not am only still. Virus possible. Rest need I. Bed am I am. Else to everyone. Want laugh you all. This serious is very. Night last. You I told. Last while long will stress this. Where's the comics? Why are you typing like Yoda, though? Do you have the Yoda virus? This is classic Chris. This is fun. I like this part. Okay, Chris says, Twilight Sparkle secret chip folder, whatever. Sonic 2 bundle deal now available. If you're selling a product with the name Twilight Sparkle, you can be sued. Nintendo, Sony, Game Freak, and Hasbro have already been notified and said it's okay, so no need to contact anybody. No need to contact anybody. Classic Chris line. Lol, classic Chris deflection style a la Alec Benson Larry. You lot are so neurotypically hindered. Wow. He's insulting them for being neurotypical. That's so Chris typical. Oh wait, did he do it again? I'll give you $30 for the mega bag of Meow Mix and cans of dog food. You are so neurotypically hindered. Which he spelled wrong this time. That's great. I don't understand. Okay, so Chris posted a bunch of new cards, and one of them was this. It had this art of Chris kissing whichever rose Jew this is, and the title of the card is Kissing While Visiting Friends. And this person's just like, let that sink in. And Chris says, go ahead. That is what happened that day, and they did not mind it much. Tamakas makes you so neurotypically hindered. I love that he learned this new insult. So that's actually where we leave off from Chris for today, with him learning a new phrase, neurotypically hindered. Okay, so now we're going to look at some of the things that me and Jacob have been talking about. So Jacob said, I think this is one of his first tweets on the Goddess Emmanuel account. He says, beware, a great evil has infested the soul of GiBi. The hate of the trolls has infested his being, and he seeks to stop the merge at any cost in order to seek favor with the great evil. There are many who conspire with him. Beware! And that's obviously just another Jacob account, because, he deleted his old one. And this is also like mere hours after Chris said that he was not going to be with Jacob. The great evil is known to Magichan and Chris, and White Knight Blueheart, which is Jacob. The great evil has been directing the haters and trolls towards Chris in an attempt to defeat her. She will prevail, but only with the combined power of Jacob and Magichan. Again, he's trying to convince Chris to go back with Jacob. And I like this. You lose. Good day, sir. This is all within the span of a couple hours. Magichan, you must tell Chris not to give up on Jacob. Otherwise, the great evil and his minions will have won, and the merge will not occur. The great one's most evil minion, GiBi, celebrates this small victory, but the war has just begun. And this is when he did the fake tweet. And yeah, this is the guy. This is the guy who pointed out that the Emmanuel account puts idea guys in quotes, just like the fake DM from me. Thinking emoji. This person edited a comment from Goddess Emmanuel. GiBi is a good guy, actually. I'm sorry. So this is actually totally something that Jacob said, Chris. You should 100% believe all screenshots people show you because they can't be doctored or altered in any way. Glad to see you're coming around, Jake. Here's another good point from another one of my followers. Sockness claims Kitsuna is copyrighted, but it is supposed to be real. Basically, it's his confession to Chris that he made it up, caught up in his own lies. Okay, so Jacob deleted his entire subreddit, the r/Kitsuna. He deleted every single post, so it's gone forever. I was planning on making a video series after I was done with the interviews, where I went through all of his Reddit posts, but now they're all gone. Except they're not, because there's a website that archives every single Reddit thread, and it's not gone. And I downloaded them all on my computer, and I can still access every single one of them. So, yeah, still gonna be making that video. Sorry, Jacob. It's been foreseen the hater negative troll GiBi will release another negative and hate-filled video against the goddess regarding the entire situation surrounding Jacob. GiBi wants to rile up the haters and negative trolls so they attack. This was on December 2nd, so this is about a week ago. And clearly, I have not made a video about Jacob since. This is the first video that I've actually made that's even mentioned him. My next video about Jacob will, in fact, not direct hate at Chris. Does this mean Goddess Emmanuel can't really see the future? Thinking emoji. I'm not going to do a Sockness Files for a little while because I'm busy. I'm very busy with a lot of other videos. The Sockness Files is still going to come, but not soon. General PSA. So, a lot of people DM me things like, oh, I have a plan to help Chris. I'm going to pretend to be Magichan, or I'm going to, I'm an artist, so I'm going to draw some OCs, and I'm going to use them to slowly convince Chris that the merge isn't real, or stuff like that. And if you want to do that, okay, but I'm not going to help because I don't want to interfere with Chris. Making him stop believing in the dimensional merge is not something that I think anyone can do. It's not something that I have any intention of doing. Obviously, I would be glad if it happened, but I'm not going to be involved in that. And it's not just like, if you DM'd me saying something like that, this is not directed at you. I've gotten at least 20 messages like that. So here we are now back at the beginning. This morning, the morning that I am recording this video, Jacob sent me these threats saying he's going to dox me. He said he knows all this information about me, but the only information he said about me is the state I live in, the fact that I have a job, and the fact that I have a brother, which is stuff that I've mentioned in multiple of my videos. So basically, Jacob is just watching through all of my videos, giving me AdSense revenue, thank you, Jacob, and picking out as much information as he can to try to dox me, which is very illegal, because he's just mad. He's just mad, and he blames me for Chris breaking up with him, even though Chris explicitly said that he was never going to be with Jacob. He's a sad, sad man. So yes, I am still going to be making Sockness Files videos. I'm going to go through the interviews, I'm going to go through his books, I'm going to go through his Reddit posts. From this point on, Jacob is sort of just its own side series. Now that he's not involved with Chris anymore, it's basically just me following up with an episode of The Absurds. It's kind of like how I made an Absurds video about Cool Cat, and Daddy Derek just announced that there's going to be a new Cool Cat movie. He just put out a new YouTube video about it. So I'm going to be doing like an update on that Absurds episode. In January, Spirit is going to have a Draw Spirit contest, so I'm going to have an update on Spirit. As I go on, I'm going to continually update my old Absurds videos. And so the Sockness Files is basically just an ongoing series updating the Jacob Sockness Absurds video, and is no longer related to Chris directly. So that's why I'm going to keep talking about Jacob, even though he's not really important anymore. Some people have criticized me, saying that me talking about Jacob enough has sort of like given him power and made him famous, which I personally disagree with. I understand that viewpoint. I just don't think that Jacob is like Chris, and I don't think that, the quote-unquote fame has gone to his head. He has explicitly stated multiple times that he hates me for doing what I'm doing. And all I can really say is that I do have more information on him that I will be releasing shortly, but hopefully this will be one of the last times that I have to talk about Jacob in a Chris update video. So, I thank you for watching. I have a link to my Discord in the description, and it's good for 24 hours. I have a link to my Patreon in the description. I don't expect you to donate, but I know that some people like doing that. And of course, I have a link to my Twitter in the description. It is at GIBI_Devin, where we can talk about Chris, we can talk about Jacob, we can talk about Cool Cat, we can talk about Spurt, we can talk about Star Wars, we can do whatever we want. So thanks for watching. I'll see you again real soon.